Hi and welcome to this episode of Thin Air, where I'm going to talk about head tracking, especially on the Avatar 2. So I made this video about head tracking a couple of days ago, and I was thinking about it afterwards that, damn, I was speaking bad English in this episode. I don't know why. Maybe I was tired or had a hangover, or I don't know, whatever. But I was thinking that there is actually some other use cases for how I use head tracking when I fly, and I would like to just shortly describe them to you. This is a scene where I fly over a cliff, and this is where I'm pointing down the camera just to float down the cliff. I think that makes a very nice falling feeling, I would say. And this is actually a good thing with the Avatar, so that when you are pointing your head down, the camera looks down, and then you can point the motion controller straight down, and it will be going almost vertically down, and the camera will be looking almost vertically down. This is another example of exactly the same thing, where I just wanted to show people how this cliff just falls down, and when I come to the edge, I just look straight down and point the motion controller straight down, so it just falls. It doesn't fall very quickly, but it falls. And there's the opposite thing, of course, that you can do, is that you can do the same thing when going up, that you can just look straight up, and then you can float up or climb up the wall or whatever you're doing with the drone. So this is a typical usage of head tracking, that you wouldn't be able to get these shots without head tracking, actually. This is an example of circling, which I showed you with a pole in the last video. This is just exactly a better example of how you can use the head tracking to create circling effects. This clip is a little bit special, actually. I didn't move the drone at all. I'm just moving my head. I'm just following what happens in this scene with my head. So the drone stays stationary all the time. I'm just looking around what happens. And this is another thing where I actually did very nice, that you can just look down, point your motion controller straight down to the ground, and then you can dive in a very, very controlled way down, let's say, into a forest like this, for instance. And you wouldn't be able to do that without the kind of control that you have in Avatar 2 with the head tracking and the motion controller. This is an example of looking up. I'm not looking up very, very much in this clip, but anyway, this is a good use of looking up, flying straight, or whatever you're doing. It also creates a nice effect. One of my specialties, I would say, is to climb up like this along a tree, for instance, and then when you're reaching the top, just looking more straight ahead again. That's a nice flow in that kind of clip, I think. This is another example of it in a vertical video that I made, when I'm looking down, and then I'm pointing my motion controller straight down. I'm trying to fall in between the branches here now, without actually hitting anything. And when I come down here, I realize that there is space to actually circle around, because if you just turn the motion controller as much as possibly to the left, for instance, you will start circling on the spot, right down, as I do in this case. So I'm still looking down and just moving to the left. I'm pointing down, of course, at the same time. And then when I reach the ground, I will raise my head to end the scene in a nice way. Thank you for watching this episode of Thin Air.